What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to showcase one of my favorite Pokemon from previous seasons. Of course, we're talking about Medicham. This Pokemon used to be one of the top picks in the entire Go Battle League meta, but ever since the counter nerf, it's been struggling a little bit, but recently it's found quite a bit more play by using Psycho Cut instead of counter as its fast move. There's a reason this Pokemon here is sitting next to the trophies, right? It's one of my favorite picks. I used to use it quite a bit, so I'm very excited to see what it can do today. Really quickly though, before we get into the battles, I want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what this Pokemon can do. Got our first opponent here. Medicham into Grumpig. Alright, well, they weren't supposed to be using that, but that's fine. I can bring in a Licky Licky here, and surely this is fine, despite the fact here that I do get outpaced to a Dynamic Punch. In fact, they could throw it immediately if they wanted to, but they don't choose to. Instead, they come in with this thing. Oh no, I think I might have an idea of what's in the back, and I don't love it. I think there's a good chance that there's an Annihilape in the back. 5. Is this a Rock Tomb here? That would be an interesting play if it was, I suppose. I guess Medicham walls this energy pretty hard. No, it's just a Brick Break. Alright. I could try to flip switch, but I don't think that helps me out too much, so I'm just gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. And, I mean, I would love a shield, honestly. A shield here would be amazing. Like, the thing is, I could shield this and farm down. I guess if it is Annihilape, though, then it's probably a good thing that it's playing out the way it is here. Maybe there's still a chance for us. We'll see. I'm going to bring in my Dusknoir. They actually bring the Grumpig immediately back in. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? They could Dynamic Punch bait me if they're insane. That doesn't really save them that much energy, though, so I'm not sure why they did that. The thing is, if they go for another move here, I can just still shield and farm down. I don't know why they would bait that. That's just so crazy to me. They're not going to get a third move off here. Please tell me it's Annihilape. Please be Annihilape. Trainer, please tell me you disrespect Shadow Dusknoir. I mean, at the very least, I am getting rid of this Pokemon. Dude, why? What is the point of that? You're not going to... Okay, I mean, I did shield 2 Dynamic Punches, but, okay, that was sudden. Alright, next game. Gonna be hard to top that one. Guess we'll have to try. Into Grumpig again. What's up with the Grumpigs today, please? Honestly, this time, I'm gonna swap in Dusknoir. Let's see if that's a good idea. Dude, well, it's not the same team, unfortunately. But maybe if I can get some shields down here, then this could still be very playable, right? I would expect we get a shield on the first attack. No, we don't, actually. 9. I mean, I want to get at least one shield down here if possible. This is going to be an interesting game. 9. So they're at 3, 4, 5, 6. They're at a lunge. They CMP'd us actually on that, so I wonder if they shield this or not. I wouldn't be surprised to see a shield, but I'll see. They do shield that, okay. I mean, maybe there's, like, something else in the backline my Licky Licky has play into. So, there's a chance here. Oh, they have X-Scissor? Oh, they could have thrown a little bit earlier there than if they wanted to. I'm going to farm down with Licky Licky, though. This energy lead will allow me to hopefully get some Shadow Balls off into that Grumpig, potentially. Okay, it's a Crustle in the back. I don't love seeing that, but could be maybe somewhat playable. Licky Licky safe swap actually would have been putting in quite a bit of work this game. I kind of thought it would be similar to the last team, so that's why I didn't go for it. 17. I mean, I have to shield. A Rock Wrecker one-shots us. So they're at 4. But I don't think it matters. They just get a Dynamic Punch with that Grumpig. Maybe if I can go for a catch, I can have some play, but I don't think that's even the case. They just swap. Yeah. I absolutely need to catch a move, and I don't feel like that's all that possible here, if I'm being honest. You get a shield with that, okay. The attempt to catch doesn't work. My only saving grace is maybe a Shadow Ball does not one-shot us here. And if I can get to 2 Ice Punches, and if that's enough, then maybe I can still win this. But Shadow Ball is a really good move. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. Honestly, I probably should have gone double dynamic here. Because dynamic does do more raw damage than an ice punch. I don't know how much it would have mattered, though. I'm gonna go for it. Honestly, there's a chance it could have mattered. We'll see. We'll see. Please tell me that they don't farm us down here. Well, they don't farm us down, but are they at back-to-back Shadow Ball plus Dynamic Punch? They could just be. A dynamic... Well, I guess they could be a back-to-back dynamic. Did they not catch? Or what just happened there? They weren't at back-to-back. They don't go for the catch. Licky just snipes them down. They got so greedy there at the end. They thought that I wasn't at the body slam? Alright. Dude, what's happening right now? Grumpig is so annoying. Please stop it with the Grumpigs. Alright, next opponent. Medicham, hopefully not into Grumpig this time. Alright, well, this is why we're using Medicham over Annihilape today, because I figured Oranguru could definitely be a Pokemon we'd see, and if that is the case, Medicham has a decent matchup here at least, right? Much more playable than Annihilape, who takes super effective damage from confusions, and doesn't really have a lot of great charge attack pressure here. They're at 4 right now, so they have a Trailblaze that they likely throw immediately. But Medicham's pretty bulky, right? That's what made Medicham so strong back in the good old days. We do survive that. Boom. So they have a Brutal Swing right now. And now my big question is going to be, do I have play in the back line with my Dusknoir? Whoa, they shield that. That's crazy. Alright, well, I guess I just let this go. Because, I mean, Oranguru's honestly not that scary at this health range. Down shields against a Shadow Dusknoir. So I feel like letting that go is not a bad play. And I can take a boosted Brutal Swing if I need to. Alright. Or they come in Regidrago here. And I don't know exactly what to do. But Shadow Ball here is going to hurt quite a bit. And I'm hoping this is going to be Astonish downrange before they can get to 2 charge attacks here. They likely are going to do something crazy called a Vice Grip bait against us, but I don't think that helps. Okay, good. They just Dragon Energy, so that guarantees they don't get to a second. He Astonish down. We have a lot of energy here. And I don't know if Shadow Punch is quite enough to knock out, but it's going to still put them into farm down range, potentially. They do let that go. That's kind of crazy. Should have Dynamic Punched. But we can shield this up, farm down even still. And we have energy and HP on our Licky. Okay. 5. Alright. Well, I mean, let's just swap here, right? It's not like the charge attacks do much into Licky. And they have to go for Ice Punch here to knock out, if that's even enough. And if they Ice Punch, I think they're 2 away from a Rage Fist. That does knock us out. They should be 2 away, though, right? Nice. So we do just get the snipe down here. And as long as that Oranguru gets knocked out here by the Astonishes before they reach a Brutal Swing, I should be fine. Big Shadow Punch, we knock out the Ape. Just one Astonish does it. Oh my goodness. I can't believe Dusknoir just pulled that one off. Let's go. Next opponent here, we're going to see Medicham into Shadow Dragonair. Alright. Well, this is what I would imagine to be a good matchup for Medicham, but it's probably a little bit more annoying than I'd like, just because they can have that one-turn move. They can swap if they want to. And I'm sure they want to swap at some point here to catch a move. And you might be wondering, why am I going for a Dynamic Punch? Ice-type damage is super effective into Dragon. It's just because Dynamic Punch is actually a little bit stronger, just with raw damage output. I should survive whatever they throw, though. They could Dragon Pulse, they could go for Aqua Tail or Wrap. They could also go for Body Slam, I suppose. Also a play. We're already at the second move, though, so... I mean, we'll see how they want to play this out. Do they double shield their Dragonair? They do. Wow, okay. I guess I should have Ice Punched that time to get my move after 4 Psycho Cuts here. I'd have to double shield this if I wanted to get much out of this, but... I mean, a 2-shield Dusknoir feels really hard to take down in general, so... I think I'm going to let my Medicham go. Come in Licky, and just try to absorb the energy that I can here. Rollout doesn't do a lot of damage, obviously, but Shadow Ball should still be more than enough to knock out by the time I reach it. And the energy from Dragonair really isn't all that damaging, right? Just non-stab body slams and water pulses. Alright. Moment of truth. Do they try to catch? Or do they just stay in and let their Dragonair go down? I guess you can bring in your Corsola. No one's stopping you from doing that, but I do think that's a bit of a crazy play. They're just sacrificing Corsola to the gods. I mean, we saw how much one Shadow Ball did. This one's basically gonna knock out, right? After the rollout damage, it should. And if Dragonair comes back in, I can just swap out. Oh, well, I meant to swap sooner, but that's fine. This is pretty good. Alright, well, that went better than expected. I'll take it. Today is an interesting day. Alright, I think we're 4-0 in this set. 5-0 is always possible. You get a good lead, but this is deceptive, right? Because I have no fast move pressure here. Well, they do just swap out into an Araquanid, so this is actually pretty good now. I didn't know what water bug was coming in there, so I was a little bit slow on the counter swap, but I think no matter what happens here, we should be in a pretty playable position. I don't inherently need as much switch advantage as they might this game. What I don't want to have happen, though, is I don't want to give a massive farm over to a Furret here in this game. They are actually on water pulls. Alright, well, good on them. If they want to here, they can shield this and farm us down. Honestly, there's a chance they could no-shield and farm us down, too. I've seen a lot more Bug Buzz in this meta, so I was more so expecting either a bait or, Bug Buzz to do less damage, but this is still fine. I can go for the Licky Licky, absorb the energy, and unless they have, like, a second hard answer to Medicham in the backline, we should be very good. And here's the other thing. They throw in bad timing here. Water Pulse isn't going to do that much to Licky Licky. I might just get a rollout down. And 100 energy on Licky Licky is also a bit of a tricky thing to deal with. They get another move off, but I think this is just a Bubble Beam. We'll swap. I'll clear the debuff, but now I have 100 energy here. Burt comes back in, who would have thought? And we see an Oranguru in the back. As we know, not the worst matchup in the game. Dynamic Punch 2 shots after the Psycho Cut damage. And since I have the shield advantage, I can just shield up the Trailblazes. I never take a charge attack here with the energy and shield lead that I have. And then I can Dynamic Punch or just charge attack spam through the rest of this game as well. They're at 4, so they do have the Trailblaze now. 5. I mean, I might as well shield something this game, so I guess it's going to be this. Big Trailblaze. 6. I think I'm going to shield this as well and just build up to back-to-back moves here. Or at least close enough to back-to-back that I can get to a dynamic against that Furret. Did they, like, try to wait a turn there? I don't even know why, but that was weird. They need to be 1 away from a Swift to be able to get it and knock me out before Dynamic Punch is reached, but they're not going to be. And I have 100 energy on my Licky Licky. We have back-to-back body slams. We could even Shadow Ball if we wanted to. We could double Shadow Ball. It probably would be enough to do that. I'm not going to, though. I want to guarantee the win, because we're actually kind of close to Swift range, so let's just guarantee the knockout. Licky Licky should close out this game. Nice. Alright. That was a little bit of an annoying mid-game situation. It's good to know that Dusknoir can actually lose that Araquanid matchup. I know Araquanid's good. I've used it a lot myself, but that was a little bit sad that we lost Switch, but it doesn't matter, because we don't need Switch when Medicham with a shield advantage, I guess, is just incredibly ridiculous. 5-0, what does that get us up to? Back almost to the 3000s. Great. Next opponent. We got the first set with a 5-0. Can we keep it going here? Maybe. This is an alright lead, right? Because they have super effective damage. They can go for the funny Rage Fist here, but it is non-stab. And I have super effective Psycho Cut damage. I resist Karate Chop. So I'd imagine, unless I go for a catch here, Medicham wins the longer it goes. Dream. So they have access to a Rage Fist after one more Karate Chop. Let's see if they're gonna go for a shield here or not. I'm very happy they let that go. Now I can Psycho Cut down. And if they have a Ghost type in the back line, I mean, I could swap out if I want to not give a farm down over, right? That's always an option. Nice, okay, so we get a full farm down. We have a lot of energy. They bring in a Hakamoa, which I think is maybe the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Hakamoa does not have any charge attack pressure whatsoever into Medicham, unless they're running a crazy attack here, like Dragon Claw. We'll go for the Ice Punch. It is slightly cheaper, so we can outpace a little bit more by doing this. I guess maybe we're getting close to Brick Break range. Wow, they're just sacrificing this Pokemon. Alright, we'll catch whatever this is. It could be a Rock Tomb, which would be bad. But it's still fine, because we knock them out by doing this. Actually, we don't knock them out quite yet by doing that. But, I mean, Titan in the backline is going to be in for a rude awakening when they realize I have another answer to this thing in the back here. Medicham looks like it's actually pretty bad for their team. They do shield that, which makes sense. But they have to throw energy before my next Shadow Punch. 9. I could shield this up and get a Shadow Punch off, but I don't feel like that's all that worth it here. We'll just let this go. And we have some energy on Medicham. We have the rollout damage here as well on Licky Licky. And they have to Superpower us to knock us out. I guess they don't have to Superpower the first time. They could just go for an Icicle Spear first, which wouldn't be a bad play. They try to go for a catch, but we see that coming. We farm down the Hakamoa, and now there's even less of a chance for them. Alright, well, I guess the win streak continues here. Alright, next game. Medicham into Charjabug. Alright. Well, we have two answers to this Pokemon, which is good, because this is really bad. I'll go for a Psycho Cut and swap out, though, because that way I can make it so this timing here is a little bit more awkward for them. They can't throw immediately, or else they give me a full sneak. And that allows us here to get a Body Slam off before they end up swapping out. We're at 4 Volt Switches, so 1 away from back-to-back. And I only went for the Body Slam there just because I know over time that is enough to 2-shot. They're back-to-back attacks, though, and they choose to throw on alignment here. Well, not on alignment, I guess, but, like, on still pretty suboptimal timing. Alright, well, they're still staying in, which is kind of crazy to me. We have the Shadow Ball. I could have body slid, I don't know. Body slammed them here. Oh, he didn't go for it. Alright. We'll let this go. We have a shield advantage, which I'm hoping is good. I feel like they're not scared of Medicham, though, this game, so we'll bring it in here. Medi is just going to come in, absorb some energy, and hope that Dusknoir is not going to get buried in the back line. Alright. Save this energy here. I can swap now into my Dusknoir. And they should not get to another move here before I Astonish down. They bring in a Lunatone. Diabolical behavior by our opponent right now. I would not consider Lunatone to be even remotely a counter to Dusknoir. This could be very good news. Or maybe this was a mistap. They shield that? That is insane to me. I have two potential plays here. I could either throw immediately, or I could try to shield twice, farm down. I feel like throwing immediately is the better play. Just because I don't know what's in the backline, and I do want to keep a shield. If it is a Furret or something, I have all of my Medicham still around, so that's fine. If it's their own Ghost type here, then honestly, that is a little bit scary. But I have so much energy on my Medicham. I don't know how over that was. If they got one more Volt Switch to land against us, which I think they should have tried for, then that could have been bad for me. I don't think one Ice Punch knocks out that Dusknoir. I think I need 2. I think I would have won that game. I think it would have been really close, though, and I'm really surprised they just forfeited. Okay. Alright, next opponent. Really interesting game so far today. That's a good lead. That is definitely a good lead. The hard part, though, is I doubt I one-shot with a Dynamic Punch, and they have Overheat, right? And if they land an overheat, no pun intended, my Medicham would be over. It would be bad, is what I'm trying to say here. But we'll see what they want to do. They could go for a Rock Tomb bait, and that would be also annoying. Or... Hey, I survive. They do overheat, but I do survive. Wow, they don't swap out? They throw a debuffed Rock Tomb into us. Interesting. I thought for sure like a Ghost type was about to come in there. They must have Ghost types though in the backline if they're still staying in. Or, I guess they have Charjabug. Because everyone has Charjabug today. I do have that Dynamic Punch loaded. And we have a lot of energy here on Licky Licky. So this is not the end of the world. Man, they are building up a lot of energy here, aren't they? The bad thing for them, though, is they're not quite in their range here. Or I think one X's or knocks me out, so they need to dump both their charge attacks into us. Which is definitely not what they want to hear. I have the Body Slam loaded right now, so we can knock them out if they choose to try to farm us down. Alright, well, this is going to be an interesting game. They still have access to that Magcargo, right? They likely bring in Magcargo here. And I'll bring in Dusknoir. Build up some energy. We can shield a Rock Tomb. And since we do still have that Dynamic Punch loaded in the back line, we can go for a shield here and potentially get a shield back with our Medicham against this thing if they do shield a Shadow Punch. I don't think Shadow Punch is quite enough to knock out, but it should put them into Astonish down range before they do get that next Rock Tomb off. But they shield that anyway. Interesting. That's a good Pokemon to see. I am debuffed here, though, so this might not two-shot, actually. Maybe I need to swap to clear my debuff. Oh, with that 2 shots, we're good. They should be at 6, so they're 6 away from their next move. I can do 4 Astonishes and throw on CMP. Or I can just do this. We're back-to-back here. And so now they not only need to get a move for my Dusknoir here and win CMP with Magcargo, but they'd also need to have a move for my Medicham. Which is not all that possible here. Nice, okay. Dusknoir able to close it out once again. Got a little bit lucky that they didn't have a Furret in the backline, but like, who has a Furret in the backline with a Magcargo lead? If we're being honest, I feel like that'd be kind of crazy. Oh my goodness, we gotta fight Elite now. Very good battler. Let's see what he's up to in the Retro Cup. We see a Shadow Kanto Marowak. And if I'm being honest, I don't have an answer to this. Medicham's about as close as it gets, so I'm kind of fine seeing this here. 3, 4, 5. And again, this is one of those situations where sure, Ice Punch might be super effective, but I do a little bit more raw damage by going for a Dynamic Punch. And I still outpaced the second move anyway. Okay. We go for an attempted CMP, but he overfarms here, which is interesting, I guess. We could have gone for Ice Punch there, but I thought he might try to catch with how he was playing it out. 9. Big Bone Club. We'll swap here. Could be a Furt in the back line. Or a Licky Licky. Honestly, that's not that bad for me now, is it? I have Dynamic Punch here. The fast move pressure is not all that concerning from this Pokemon. So we'll see what they want to do. Do they shield the first Dynamic? No. 5, 6, 7. He's at a bait plus a nuke right now. Do we see a Body Slam bait come through here? There's a good chance at it, I think. No, but we just see a Shadow Ball. We'll overfarm, go for the Shadow Punch on CMP. Or what could have been CMP. He actually overfarms. So they're at 5. Oh, he lets that go. Well, Dynamic Punch is going to hurt quite a bit, but this endgame is going to get a little bit dicey, isn't it? A lot of energy left over on that Marowak. And I don't have an easy way to knock out this Furo. He's going to try to go for some sort of CMP sack swap play, I think, at some point. I'm going to throw an alignment, and that might be a bad idea, in theory. But it's the play I'm going for, so we'll see. Alright, we shield this up. We just need our fast move pressure at this point. We just have to hope that's enough. Is he at back-to-back bone clubs here? Rock slide, so he guarantees a knockout by doing that, but... Oh, man. If I would have Ice Punched earlier on this game, I think I would be able to get the farm down here and Ice Punch the other guy. It's gonna be so close, though. Medicham! Medicham! Oh my goodness! Dude, why did this Pokemon ever go away from the meta? This Pokemon's just too good. I love this Pokemon. Medicham, I love you. Alright, next opponent. Let's see, Medicham into Furo. Okay. This time we see the Furo in the lead. Don't love this Pokemon, but it is, like, probably still playable for Medicham, because I can outpace 2 Ice Punches here. So we'll see, I guess. And if this Pokemon goes away, maybe my Dusknoir's opened up a little bit in the back. We shield, because, I mean, Drill Peck basically knocks us out here. Back in the day, Noctowl was not a concern for Medicham, because Noctowl's a lot bulkier, right? It's a Pokemon that does a lot less initially. But Furo's damage output is so much higher. Nice catch. That was a good catch by them, but I mean, with that said here, I can just bring in my Shadow Dusknoir and hope for the best. They try to CMP us on a move here, on an Avalanche. The thing is, that would basically knock us out anyway. I'm going to shield this up. Ooh, I should have no-shielded a Triple Axle. I was not expecting the Triple Axle condition. This game's gonna get, it's gonna get interesting. I don't know. I'll go for the Shadow Punch. It could be a dynamic. I don't know. This is so awkward. We get a shielder, that's nice. Okay, so they're at 6. What we know about this... Well, do I ever survive this? Please tell me Dusknoir survives this somehow. I do, actually. That's amazing. Do I get the Shadow Punch off? That means they're at 2, so they're 3 away for their next, Drill Peck, potentially. They let that go. They do survive it. I don't think we have enough here, guys. It's going to be on close combat. If it's not on close combat, maybe there's a chance for us here. That's so sad. We're just going to get one shot by the close combat. I probably needed to try to catch a Rage Fist there. And then maybe there's a chance. They're at 5. It's been nice knowing you, Licky Licky. Yeah. That's so sad. That's so sad. I don't know what we could have done that game. Maybe if I came in Licky Licky immediately. Of course, we don't get the back-to-back 5-0s. Of course, we have to get the Game 10 loss. It was a tricky team comp. I think we played that well, though, all things considered. We just needed our Dusknoir to be a bit stronger. We needed Dusknoir to put in more work than it did there. I'll take a 4-1 still. We couldn't quite pull out the 10-0 sweep here with this team today, but honestly, it still worked out pretty well. Medicham is a really strong Pokemon. Its bulk is pretty insane, and its pacing to Dynamic Punch as well as Ice Punch is pretty quick. The only problem is no fast move pressure on Medicham does make it a little bit more abusable than some fighting-type Pokemon in the game, but still, it is a pretty solid Pokemon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.